Chapter 5. Chapter 5.1 is all about exponents and exponent rules. So first one here, if we got b squared and b cubed, that's like 2b's and then 3 more b's. And how many b's do we have? B to the 5th. So what do you do to the top part, to the power? It's like adding them, am plus n. You're adding those things. When we have division, we have like c, 2, 3, 4, 5 c's on top and 3 on bottom. And kind of what happens here is they cross out. And what I'm left with is 2 on top. So I'd have c squared. So when I am dividing these things, I'm really subtracting their exponents. When I'm multiplying these, it's like 6, I just gave it away. When I'm taking a power to a power, what I'm doing is I'm multiplying, so it becomes 6 to the 12. So I did a to the m times n. You're multiplying. Kind of same thing here, you're distributing. You distribute to both letters in there, or both numbers, whatever's in there. So it'd be k squared and l squared. So you're distributing that variable to both of them. And then same thing here if you're distributing to the top and to the bottom. So on top we have m squared to the power of 4, so it's a power to a power. So we're going to go back up here and multiply. So it becomes m to the 8th over n to the 4th. What I do is I distribute it to both things there. Here we got some rules here. These are all our rules that we're kind of following along. But if we notice, 2 to the 3rd power is 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2 gives me 8. 2 squared, 4. 2 to the 1st, 2. And if you notice this pattern here, it's dividing by 2 each time. It's dividing by 2. So if I keep following that pattern and I do 2 divided by 2, I get 2 to the 0 power to be 1, which is true. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything. So kind of same thing here. We got 3 squared, 9, 3 to the 1st, 3, 3 to the 0. We know it's going to be 1. And my pattern here, I'm dividing by 3. So as I keep going, as I divide by 3, I get 1 over 3. So when I have something to a negative power, it becomes 1 over that power, that number power. So let's look at a couple examples. Oh, we're not done yet. So negative, anything with a negative exponent basically flips it. So instead of being on the bottom here, that's going to be now on the top. 2 to the 1 over 1 basically, which is just 2. So this flips back up to the top. So here if we have a negative exponent, it means it's got to flip. So it's going to be 4 to the 1st on top and 3 squared on the bottom. Anything with a negative exponent gets flipped to the opposite side, whether it's on top or on bottom. And then this one, you're distributing that negative 1 to both of them, so it's like 2 to the negative 1 over 3 to the negative 1. And then any negative exponents gets flipped, so it's really 3 to the 1 over 2 to the 1. So really what we're doing is we're flipping it. So we're going to flip this b to the power of n over a to the power of n. Let's do some examples. Okay, we got a to a negative 7, a negative 2, a 5. We're multiplying these. And what do we do when we multiply? We add their exponents. So negative 7 plus negative 2 plus 5. And it becomes negative 4. So I have a to the negative 4. And then since I have a negative exponent, I flip that thing. It becomes 1 over a to the 4th. Anything to the 0 power, doesn't matter if it's 5 million or 5 or 8 here. Anything to the 0 power is always 1. Keep going, we're going to distribute. That 4 gets distributed to the 2 and to the m. So they each get to the power of 4. 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2 is 8 times 2 is, or 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. So this is really negative 3 times 16 m to the 4th. And then you just do negative 3 times 16. Give yourself negative 48 m to the 4th. Here we go. We got just multiplying. So we're going to multiply the numbers, 7 times 3, like normal, 21. Then my a's, a to the 8th and a to the negative 9th. What do I do when I'm multiplying them? I add their exponents. So it becomes a to the negative 1. And b negative 3, and b3. I add their exponents, becomes b to the 0 power, which is just 1, so that kind of goes away. And then I want to take care of my negative exponent. So really I have 21 over a to the 1st. Couple more. Mn to the 4th over m cubed n. So it's kind of like I have one m on top and then 4 n's. Now on the bottom I have 3 m's. Whoops, that's too many. And 1 n. So m's going to cancel out and 1 n is going to cancel out. So it's kind of like I'm subtracting here. So I have 3 n's on top, n cubed, 2 m's on bottom, m squared. One more. Distribute this, it gets distributed to the x and to the 3. So it becomes 3 to the 3rd, x to the, when I take a power to a power, we multiply 6 over 6, x to the 5th. I'm going to, 3 to the 3rd is 27, so that gives me 27x6 over 6x5. And my x's, 5 of them are going to cancel out, so this goes away and this becomes a 1. Then I can distribute, or I can, not distribute, simplify this. If I divide by 3 on both of these, I get 9x over 2. There is 5.1.